10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right. Okay. Beef.
Yes, sir.
What are we handing out today at the end of the Sports Concepts and Rationalization segment?
Oh, man, Dan.
Yes, sir.
We're hooking the Googans up one more time with a family 4-pack to head down to the 121 Financial Ballpark to catch the Jumbo Shrimp in action. Just 3 home stands were made. They're back home Tuesday for 2 weeks. A series against Durham and then a series against Charlotte, and then they'll have another home series starting September 21st. But that's it. 3 home series left, but you'll get a 4-pack of vouchers for a home game at the end of the 10-minute drill.
I've been critical of what's going on in Jacksonville in terms of the team and such, but this BS article about some headline grabbing some Jag players, quote, aren't thrilled with head coach Urban Meyer and his, quote, college-like ways. I can't. And I love Pete, and that's fine. Again, this guy is bending over backwards for his players. This guy is doing everything he can to build a winning program. This guy is getting facilities upgraded that need to be upgraded. This guy is doing, like I said, going above and beyond in terms of trying to get things going. And this guy has not, repeat, in capital HASNOT, run some sort of, I expect this physical training camp. Not in the least.
No, he's done nothing.
So if you're complaining because there's a guy on a microphone who says, hydrate, who I've had fun with talking about, then get the hell out of here. There is not a football player, minus Trevor Lawrence, on this football team, and listen closely, players, who I give a damn about your opinion. You guys suck, and you've sucked for years, 18, 19, 20. So
and
when
16,
you guys,
15, 14,
Yeah, when you guys can play some football, then we'll listen. Until then, shut up and do your jobs.
Look.
Am I off base here?
No, I got to be honest.
Come
I'm going to say
on.
this, and I'm not.
If that's again, and that's Pete, and Pete talks to guys, so and then maybe they're just rolling their eyes at some of it, and that's different than
what has happened here is Pete made a not near as emphatic a statement on a podcast,
and they took it,
and everyone else is picking it up, and then they're what college-like ways? What are you even talking about? It doesn't look like a college-like here. And this is what Pete said. Now. They haven't gotten off to a good start. That's obvious. He clearly does not like losing, even if it's in the preseason. Already had a rough go of it last week just because he lost the first preseason game. He's got to change a few things. He brought a bunch of college-like things to the program, which I don't necessarily agree with. I've heard some of the players aren't thrilled with him either.
Yeah.
So who? Some what? What does that mean? It's a dubious.
Well, what are the college-like things? Like I said, we got a guy on the mic. So what? I mean, my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. I don't trust that this is an actual story.
Okay.
I don't think that this is a deal.
I just wanted to address it.
I think that this is
saying, hopefully it's not.
I mean, it's dangerous in our position sometimes for you or I to take our opinion and bolster it with just some hearsay from some player that may or may not have said it.
Again.
The players aren't all that available right now either for a story like this. You get these some players said when you got guys milling around the locker room day after day after day after day. So
again, if he was running a camp unlike any other, and keep
it looks as NFL as anything else.
They
we've seen
practiced
here.
one day and at 1:00, and it was, my God, it's too hot. So they moved it back. I mean,
right?
It's just,
no, I don't get it. I don't know, and I haven't heard any of the players. I haven't heard any players.
Okay. Well,
talking about how bad things are, or something they don't like. So
we'll let it go for now.
There's a difference, by the way, in an opinion column that is suggesting trades that make sense, and a reporting column that has the ear to the ground and is reporting on trades they think might happen. So I want to make sure that what I'm about to talk about falls into that first category.
Okay.
Just like the opinion piece on trades that would make sense. And to that end, we're kind of recycling one that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, which the narrative seemed to have changed. Maybe this columnist hasn't gotten the news yet, but Michael Thomas for C.J. Henderson. as one of the 5 trades that should be made. It seems like that. It seems like that if for no other reason, Michael Thomas and Sean Payton are back on the same page.
Right.
At least that was the narrative coming out of New Orleans.
Right.
I mean, I know Marquez Callaway had a great game against the Jags secondary, but I hardly think you're ready to move on from the talent that Michael Thomas is. Mm-hmm. Again, this just and by the way, if you've been watching the Jaguars secondary, I don't think you can afford to give up a guy you drafted in the top 10 a year ago. The secondary has been god awful in the preseason.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You want to trade C.J. Henderson for a player who may not play until October?
No, but I do want to trade for a tight end. I do want to make moves. I do.
Me too.
And I know that. Listen. You're a bad team, and I heard Log saying this yesterday, so I think he's in the know. But they're going to get to their final 53, and if you're a player, you're going to have this sigh of relief. However, guess what? They're going to scour the waiver wire, and they're going to pluck about 3 or 4 other guys from other teams because you're not good. We're not a good team yet. So they're going to be adding and mixing and matching. We lost Travis Etienne, okay? Let's get Trevor Lawrence a security blanket here. Let's get him. Get Ertz. Go get him. If it's a 5th-round pick, trade the 5th-round pick. What 5th-round picks have we hit on around here in the last, 26 shots? Yeah. That is, come on, man. Whatever, and if they're going to cut, if they're going to cut him, then be patient, wait and get him. But you have got to get a tight end here who can catch the football and get open and help this kid out. It looks like, and again, we'll see.
That people are getting open.
But it looks like, and it also looks like they may have failed on the offensive line,
designation.
Yeah. So, you got to help the kid out, man. So if there's a good tight end out there, go get him.
Well, I got this one. Would Sony Michel not be worth a 6th-round pick for the Jags? We haven't lost ETN?
Why not?
I mean, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The Patriots are getting rid of – the Patriots are weird, man.
Yeah, I don't trade with the Patriots.
Sony Michel at the end of that,
he won a game for him.
Yeah, he was very good. The Kansas City. I mean, he was –
yeah.
He sparked. Now, I think he's had like a knee or something that's kind of been bulky the whole way. But that'd be an interesting pickup for the Rams. They lose Cam Akers, and that was a good strike for them, I think.
Chubb, way better than Michel.
Yeah, they were kind of even coming out.
Yeah.
In fact, Michel went before Chubb in the draft.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. That was a miss by the Patriots, who don't always draft well, but I still would never trade with them. And they were wheeling and dealing. They got Shaun Wade. Now, Baltimore is a very crowded room. Shaun Wade's played good football for Baltimore.
Yeah, he had an interception I saw the other day into the game.
So, good for him.
It feels like, the big C, COVID, is going to rear its head here going into opening weekend in some form or fashion. This designation that the NFL made. I think they did it when the numbers were low and the
before the Delta strain.
Yeah, the optimism was high.
What is the designation you're referring to?
Well, that if you don't have enough players, you have to forfeit the game.
Oh, yeah.
And the way they're putting them into protocols, and now, by the way, can you maintain that certain strategy when you're learning that sometimes it's the vaccinated people that are.
I think last year we really only had one game that I would have suggested that the integrity of the game was
it like a Wednesday,
Sunday? No, I was okay with that. It was when Denver had to play.
Oh yeah, with no quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
When that occurred, I was like, well, this isn't real. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's fair to wonder at this point, Jeffrey, if we're going to have more of those kind of games this year. It seems like that, and I think you're right. I think they do have to revisit and maybe talk to the guys and sort of, look, last year was really tough, but they got through it. And if they want to get through it again, and there's, obviously it's $1 billion industry. There's a lot of money at stake.
Well, I don't understand. Like, the players want daily testing, and then the NFL wants weekly testing. Why would the NFL be opposed to testing the players every day? If that's what they want.
Maybe they don't want to know. Maybe because because if you're vaccinated and you get the COVID.
Here's the problem with the vaccinations aren't foolproof. Like some of the vaccinations aren't foolproof. Some of these situations in these locker rooms are in some cases patient zero. Like in Buffalo, it started by a vaccinated coach who had it.
Right. That's what I mean. But but the fact that he has it,
they don't want to know.
Well, right, because it's not bad.
If you're all vaccinated, then no one has to say anything.
If you get COVID and you're vaccinated, it's not allegedly. Again, it's not a bad thing, right?
Well, not a killer,
right? And you don't get hospitalized, so you just don't feel good,
right?
So maybe that's why the NFL is saying, okay, so we don't want to know. I don't know. I don't know the protocols and such. It does seem
like the Titans right now. If the Titans had a game next Sunday, what are they doing?
They're going to lose. They can
although by then maybe. But here's coaching quarterback. This is the conundrum, and it's going to lead to more, I think, disagreements within organizations within the league, and players within a team. But the Titans' malaise right now, the two key players in this storyline are both vaccinated.
Right.
Mike Vrabel, the head coach, is out with COVID. He's vaccinated. Ryan Tannehill, who by contact with him, other players are out, is also vaccinated.
Right. I don't know.
I
don't know what you do.
Right.
I don't know, but I know that they want to. It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot for the league to figure out, but they better figure it out quick because you're right. I think we will have more games like that Denver game this year. The way this thing is percolating, and listen, the guys who are vaccinated probably. Again, I'm not. The guys who are vaccinated, there's probably some of them who don't know they have it or probably feel well enough to play.
Well, to my knowledge, again, that is also a bit – it would be frustrating for the players, I guess, along or whoever it is because – and again, I'm not playing doctor here.
Right.
I'm playing statistician.
Right.
And unless you can correct me, of all the college football players who played a season last year and all the players in the NFL, none have had a COVID death scare. Again, we sometimes you can't apply the impact of COVID to the population as a total when it's 65 and older that are 85, 90% of the deaths.
Right.
And so at some point you would think it would evolve into if you feel bad and you might be contagious, you stay home. When you feel better, you go back to work.
Yeah.
Like we have handled sickness for, since the beginning of time. And again, I'm saying this with a specificity of that group of people. Those are people in their prime physical condition in their 20s for the most part.
Right.
So I think we should. I mean,
but it's interesting. Like those who opted out a year ago, is it not just as prevalent right now, and yet they're opted back in this year? Like nobody's opted out of this year.
No, and it's just right.
Right? And
because you know why? Because we've had a year and they realize that their comrades weren't falling and hospitalized and it just didn't materialize.
Right.
Their players miss games, but no one has been. Listen, I promise you this: through a season, the COVID impact would be 1/1,000,000th the impact of the hard hits to the head, the torn ACLs, the shoulder separate, all the other violence that comes along with football.
Unfortunately, it's still prevalent.
I would think that at some point the forward-thinking thing to do would be to evolve a little bit in your evaluation of just what risk-reward is there for that group of people and players, to me. Because if not, because the standards now are, really tight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you're testing negative, they're not letting you back, which kind of defeats common sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, and then you're going to also have these, like in Buffalo, where Cole Beasley and some of them have not wanted the vaccine since the get-go, and now they're treated differently than the rest of their teammates, and they're and they're subject now to the protocols because they were around a vaccinated person who was COVID positive. So it's just a lot of
circuitous
stuff. There's a lot. I don't think that we're going to get through a season in the way it's currently being handled.
Yeah,
because of the strictness of the protocols is going to lead to that situation that they said, you have to forfeit.
Yeah.
And then are you really going to do that? You're going to take away a game off of your ledger, off of your bottom line?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not sure that they'll follow through on that one.
Yeah.
The Jags, meanwhile, have had very, very little COVID distractions. They've had a few guys go in and out.
Josh Allen got put on the protocol. We don't know why.
Yeah. Sometimes it's contact. Sometimes it's actually, having the illness. So
yeah. We shall see. Lots of NFL football this weekend as we wrap up the preseason, and it'll be interesting to see who plays and who doesn't play.
Yeah, that to me is the biggest
I don't think we're going to get
bit
a lot
of intrigue.
I think it's going to be a lot of throwaway again.
Especially for the good teams that are established. I kind of get the sense
There's 4 games on the docket tonight, by the way.
I think the Jags will play their starters for the first half.
Yeah, I do think
That's
so.
kind of what I
think. The Jags will play.
And so I don't know what the Cowboys will do. I don't know what they're.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know if it's right to put that urgency on it. I feel like the most urgency for a preseason game, just like the mentality that I maybe have ever felt here in Jacksonville. I need to actually show people something, maybe even yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you go through another and you play the first half and Trevor has 5 possessions and they score 3 points, okay, now it's go time. We got a game in 2 weeks. Right. At some point, you want to see it manifest itself in some regard. And again, you can always go with the.
And immediately what you do, and this is just being a fan, and immediately what you do is you start criticizing everything. It's not just, you go, and everybody's trying to stay away from the criticism of Trevor, which is fair. I mean, he's made some unbelievable throws and such. However, ultimately, he's the quarterback of the team, so eventually the criticism will turn towards him. It's already turned towards the play caller, right? I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah,
we've annihilated the offensive line. Then we go to the skill position guys. Then we go to the play caller. Trevor's the last one we want to get, but if the offense doesn't turn around, it may not be Trevor Lawrence's fault ever. But if the offense doesn't get going, ultimately they're going to blame Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with any of that. Again, I'm going to.
That's how the criticisms work.
Well, same thing as earlier. I'm going to reserve for my vehemence. I think I'm going to need it for the regular season.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not going to invest in my emotions in the preseason. Yeah. But it's on standby. My vehemence is on standby.
Trust the process.
Yeah, the SS process.
Yes,
they could hit an iceberg.
If you could, from here on out, because I think this little bit might linger a little bit.
Yes.
So every time I say trust the process,
yeah.
If you could just give me a little Celine, please.
A little bit of
just a touch, just the whistling at the top. When I go, for example, and process something like I'm not investing emotionally, and I say, "Hey, trust the process." Yes. Thank you. That's all I need. Then we can move on.
Googans, the wind in your face will feel so refreshing. Don't go down into.
I want to sketch you.
Don't go down into steerage.
Is that a boobie?
With all this negativity. Don't do that.
I saw your boobie.
Yeah. This is like
Herbs. Yeah. What's happening?
Nuzzle. It's warm. I don't
know.
That
car looks uncomfortable.
If you made Urban Meyer embrace me like that, I don't know what would be icier, his touch or the North Atlantic gales. This is the drill. It's a GFL Friday.
Beef, let's do caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and you tell them what they're going to win. Trust the process.
4 trusted the process right now. Trust this process. Caller number 4 at 641-1010 going to go home with a family 4-pack of vouchers to go see the Jumbo Shrimp in action at 121 Financial Ballpark. They're back home Tuesday. Just 3 homestands remaining, and your chance to catch them in action right now. Caller 4, 641-1010.
I hope